And we're live! Hello and welcome to the Snappy-Tech podcast, episode number 6. How are you doing? We have a bunch of topics to talk about today, but first I need to tweet out the links because it's easier to do once live, because I can be like, hey guys, look, we're live. And if I do it whilst we're not live, people think I'm a liar, and we don't want that, do we? No. Let me just, that's one. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Almost. Wait, no, whoops, wrong button. Hang on. Post. That's Facebook and Twitter done. Add it on the Snapchat. And we are good to go. Perfect. So, how are you guys? Are you well? I hope you are. Why am I checking in on you? Because I care. I've had a crazy week this week. As you can tell, there's no Paul, there's no guest this week, just me. I am so sorry. I wish there was something I could do. Well, there is, but that's beyond the point. I can already tell this is going to be an episode with a lot of water drinking. Okay, so we have multiple topics of conversation for this week's episode. Much like every week. Who'd have guessed? It's almost like these are planned in advance. It's crazy, right? Let me just make sure tweets have gone out. Give me 2 seconds. They look live to me. That is good enough. How are you guys doing? How's your week going? Make sure to say something in the chat, because I am looking for interaction with you, because you are the audience and I am merely your host. I'm not even sure what that was, to be honest. I also don't have a joke for this week. Hang on, wait. Let me take a glance over these subjects. Nope, nothing. No jokes come to mind. No joke for this week because I've had a hectic week. So, however, there is news to be talked about. Let's talk about it. You know what? I'm going to take... This chair is really squeaky, and it's really annoying. I need a less squeaky chair. Also, I need to, do that. Oh, yeah, also, you can see my tattoos. If you haven't seen the video on that, yeah, you should go do it. Go to snappy-tech/tattoo. Don't do that. I haven't actually set up that link yet. That's a complete lie. Oh, no. No, I've lied to my audience. What have I done? Let me set that. God damn it! I'm gonna have to set that up right now, aren't I? Let's do this really, really quickly. Mute my PC audio because you guys don't want to hear that. Actually, this is a worthwhile subscription anyway, unless you were already aware, which you're probably not. There is a channel called Snappy-Talk, which is the sister channel of Snappy-Tech, I guess. There we are. snappy-tech/tattoo is now live, because making short links is that simple. But yeah, so Snappy-Talk is the sister channel of Snappy-Tech. It's about stuff that isn't tech that I may want to talk about. We are currently working on a secret project to go onto the Snappy-Tech Snappy-Talk channel over 12 weeks with one video a week. It's going to be really fun. Make sure to stick around. That hasn't been announced yet, but the first video is due to go up on the 16th of August, I believe, of that series. Let me just double check that. Yep, 16th of August. So make sure you keep an eye on that one. Cause I love how my lighting changes as I switch tabs. You can tell when I go from TweetDeck to the show notes, because the show notes are in bright white. And that lights up my face. Who would have ever thought that would be an adequate reason for... Oh no, come back. Hang on, let me bring the lighting back. Right, perfect. So let us do this and that, and as if by magic, here we are. So there's one subject I want to leave to last because Oh yeah, by the way, if you are watching, make sure to click the first link in the show notes, and you can watch, or you can see the show notes along with me, and you can like click along. If you are clicking along, that first topic in the show notes will be left till last, for a very specific reason. Actually, I'm going to drop it to the bottom now. There we are. So let's cover this. Let's start with Paint, because MS Paint has had an interesting week, and by interesting, I'm not sure if I mean good or bad. It's been interesting. Let's bring up the article here. So Microsoft Paint, it was announced on Monday that Microsoft Paint was going to be killed off after a shocking 32 years of life. Can you believe it? Microsoft Paint was first brought into the world in 1985. Let me turn vibration off on my phone. No, not location, vibration. That's better. So, yeah, it was brought into this world in 1985, which is 12 years before I was born. That's right. And the expected thing to happen was MS Paint would be dropped when the fall update, as it's called, actually no, the creators update as it's called, because it was going to be called autumn, or fall if you're in the US. Then they realized that was a bad idea, so they called it creators update. It was going to drop MS Paint. Now, Paint first appeared in 1985. It's now like a Paint 3D, with the idea being, or at least thinking it would be, that Paint 3D would be used to replace Paint out and out. If I open up Paint 3D, I actually have Paint 3D. It is, I suck at it, but it is so much fun to mess around with. Let's pull this up real quick. If I like watch this, let's try a Snappy-Tech logo. That hasn't gone even remotely well. That's gone horribly. That has gone so bad. However, you can then oh wait, no, damn, I clicked the wrong fit. Wait, no, is this? Yes. And then if I like do this, oh, look at this, genius at work. If you're listening to this on the audio, I apologize. I am currently literally making a Snappy-Tech logo in 3D Paint. Give me this. My God, this will either end really well or really badly, and I personally am going to go for the latter of those two options. Believe it or not. Oh, damn it. I've screwed up. You know what? That's close enough. Oh, God, that was not close enough. That was truly horrible. I just want to take a second to apologize to everyone who just watched me try and fail at that. Oh, wait, was that? Oh, well, just like, yeah. That's gone horribly. We're going to pretend that never happened. Deal? Deal. But yeah, let's go back to the article. No, don't say that. But yeah, so it was expected to be announced to be replaced by 3D Paint, and then that never happened. Or should I say, it's not going to happen. 3D Paint is cool and it's a lot of fun, and it's something that I highly recommend you mess around with. However, as soon as we found this out, there was a massive outpouring of people being like, "Don't get rid of Paint," because who still uses Paint? Like, am I the only one? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Paint, but really? Anyway, so that happened, and then the next day, news broke. Who'd have guessed? Was it the next day? Yeah, it was literally the next day. Microsoft said that it is not killing Paint. It will be a free download from the Windows Store, which makes me wonder if they're gonna like change anything. Is there a reason it's from the Windows Store? Who knows? But yeah, it's oh man, what a week for Microsoft Paint. It was being killed, then it wasn't being killed, and then it was brought back, And then, whew, what a day, huh? Or what a 24 hours, I should say. It wasn't one specific day. Or it could have been, who knows? Maybe it took like 20 minutes after announcing they were getting rid of it to go, oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, hang on, I've just hit my white wire. That's better. But yeah, so Microsoft Paint is gone, and then it's not again, and now we're all happy. And that bit of a light is really annoying me. So if you're not aware, there is a window just behind those two lights. So I'm using the lights to block out the light from the window, because that makes sense. But yes, that's what those are used for, because sunset is quite late, and the sunset's behind me, which is highly useful. This won't be an issue in like a month from now, when the sun will set at like 2 p.m. But until then, you're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. Whew, I want to like I want to like start digging in on one of these. So what was really fun about last time I was on my own was the KFC phone, right? That was such an absurd, that was such a crazy topic, but I couldn't help but feel the need to like dig deeper, right? We ended up on the KFC website looking up the value of K dollars. A lot of fun. Unfortunately, there isn't really any news that really stands up to that this week, outside of the last article for this week, which again will be covered later. Actually, something we can dig in. Actually, no, this will be a good research topic. Now that I look back over the topics, Twitter has not had a fun week, or a fun quarter, technically. Twitter has somehow managed, again, let's cross over to his article, has somehow managed to keep, nope, wrong one. That's better. Let's drop this down there. Oh, look at that, that's better. Perfect. So Twitter has somehow managed to have, where is it? Was it literally zero, or was it effectively zero? I can't recall. Yeah, it was literally zero. So Twitter has not added any new monthly active users in the past 3 months, which means that literally on balance, right? On balance, literally no one signed up for Skype. For Skype? Ooh, what am I taking out? Why am I taking out on Skype? No one signed up for Twitter. Whew, poor Skype. Sorry for shooting that one at you guys. No one has signed up to Twitter in the on balance, right? So this is, there's a difference between amount of users and monthly active users. Monthly active users being how most companies count it, right? It's how many people actually use the service. And then you can see, as we can see, here's Twitter's breakdown per quarter. So, it went up by 4 million, then 2 million, then 9 million. That's actually not too shabby. And then it's stayed completely stationary. Oh, man. So you know what? Twitter used to be regarded as the biggest challenger for Facebook, right? And I think that was crazy for multiple reasons. Mostly because that, in my opinion, they have very different use cases, right? I use Twitter for quick, snappy stuff. Get it? Snappy. As opposed to Facebook, which is me occasionally posting images to friends, as well as spamming them with links to Snappy-Tech, because I want them to love me more. However, if we pull up their investor news and see if they released their second quarter. Oh, look, they did. We can go down to users. Right. So interesting. So let's get this down. So Twitter averaged in the last quarter 328 million active users worldwide. That's not too shabby, I hear you say. Right? I mean, imagine if Snappy-Tech got 328 million monthly active users. You wouldn't be sad. Well, I mean, you might be. I wouldn't be, though. Right? However, if we look at Facebook, this is where it gets interesting. Here is Facebook's report. This is their financial report for the second quarter of 2017, and if we zoom in right here, you can see the daily active users were on average per day. Remember, so Twitter have it per quarter or per. I assume this is per day as well, actually, or is that was that yeah, this is monthly. So per day, right? So this is per month. They average 328 per day. Facebook average 1.32 billion users, and per month just over 2 billion users. That is crazy. That is roughly 2/7. That's what 3.5. That's 1/3.5 of the world. That's 2/7 of the planet. You know what? It's what, like 7.6 billion? Let's call it 2/8. It's basically a quarter of a planet, guys. Use Facebook every month, which is crazy if you think about it. 2 billion monthly active users is ridiculous, and then the rest of this is just, their financials. Let's look at their net income. They had an increase of basically 70%, I want to call this, in net income. And expenses have also gone up more or less the same. Expenses have gone up about 50%. So, a slight... Oh, wait, hang on. No. Yeah, let's call it 50% for the sake. It's less than 50%, but we're going to call it that for the sake of me not having to count. But yeah, net revenue has gone up. Both over the 6 month period and the 3 month period, which is great for Facebook, not very great for Twitter, who have been struggling financially, to put it nicely. Now, the reason they've been struggling isn't because people don't use website, although that is slowly happening more and more. It is that people are... what's the way to put this? It's difficult. Twitter are in a difficult place because they don't want to alienate their users by having to make them authenticate themselves. But if they don't make their users authenticate themselves, then they're basically free to do whatever they want, and that is that's not good. So that is the dilemma they are currently. Whoops. Let's put that back again. That's better. This is why you shouldn't have someone hosting a thing and then also doing the tech side of it at the same time. But yeah, it's difficult for Twitter because they can't seem to get any advertising because it seems so ineffective on their platform. They've been trying for the live market, and there were the debates during the election, were even those were were streamed on Twitter, but outside of, I think, the tech community and then a few other groups of people, cough cough Donald Trump, cough cough, there are very few people actually using Twitter now, which is a shame because I quite like Twitter. I like having the ability to kind of go in, write 140 characters and go out, and it's probably because it's Formula E. Why am I, what? Facebook. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Facebook. Almost said Formula E again. God damn it. Facebook is widely regarded as the family platform, right? It's where you have your parents and your friends from school and stuff, whereas Twitter is a bit, unless you have like a fan page, is primarily just that, and Twitter is anyone, right? And I think I'm not making sense. Facebook is people you actually know, Twitter isn't, and therefore you tend to have more people on Twitter than your Facebook. That's basically what I'm trying to say here, guys. God damn it. Oh man, I feel like I need some sleep because I clearly do. I had an early morning this morning. What can I say? Oh god. But yeah, it's I think what's going to end up happening, right, if we're all honest with ourselves, is that something will happen to Twitter. Someone will pick them up. It will be a group of like Chinese investors or something. Will pick them up, tear them apart, and then do something with the IP. Mastodon is, I think, the way to go. Not because it's a Twitter killer, but because it's open source, and I think this is the Twitter, and the model that Twitter operates in makes it extremely hard to make money. And because Mastodon is open source, they don't have to worry about making money as such. And I think that might be the boat we end up being in, purely because it is so difficult to make money when you don't know who your users are necessarily. Whereas Facebook has that real name linked to you. And on the subject of link, let's look at LinkedIn average monthly users. Quarterly report. Let's pull this up. I want to really let's see if can we get Q2? Is there Q2? That's a real question. Nope, quarterly report, not the company. We want Q2 2017. And it's important to note, right, that once again, these are slightly separate markets, right? LinkedIn is designed for business use as opposed to for recreational use. Like casual use. I don't know why I said the word recreational. For casual use. And I think that's reflected in the fact that, people are a lot more professional on LinkedIn, right? I don't spam it with Snappy-Tech links. I tend to talk. I'm on it very infrequently because it is specifically for when I want businessy stuff done a lot of the time. Let's look at monthly active users. If this video autoplays, I'm going to flip out. I think we're good. Nope, we're not good. It's autoplaying. Why would you do this to me, Fortune? Why? I'm just glad I haven't muted. Nope. Why are you still... Okay. Good. Autoplay video is the most annoying thing. So we're on the Fortune website. LinkedIn claims 500 million users. So as of Monday, LinkedIn claimed 500 million users of its business-focused social network. That's up from 467. I mean, they're not Twitter, so I'm not surprised. However, they just do not specify a monthly or daily active users, which is a real shame because that's the actual metric we wanted. However, do we have... The question I have is, do Facebook have a total number of users? Like, can we get a percentage of this? Book accounts. So we know that roughly 2 billion are active. However, does it say how many there are overall? No, this is just active again. Let's look up social media. So, yeah, cool. So, let's look at well, that's a point. Let's look at Instagram. So let's look at Instagram monthly active users, and then let's see if we can pull up Snapchat as well. What other social media websites are there? I'm not sure. I can't think of any more. Anyway, let's do this. So, as we said, Facebook has 2.01 billion monthly active users, which is a lot more than Twitter's 328 million. So we have 2.01 billion on Facebook, LinkedIn, we don't know. Let's call it. I don't even know what the percentage is. Is it half of monthly active users? Is it, 90%? Who knows? Unfortunately, LinkedIn won't tell us, so we don't. Then we have Snapchat, which in Q1 of 2017, so there's a touch old, hit 166 million, which puts it in at less than Twitter. However, I feel like it's interesting. Snapchat has a very difficult market. I'll come back to explain that in a second once we look at Instagram. 700 million users, or is that no? That's 700 million active monthly active users, which puts it in at give or take like 4 or 5 times more than Snapchat. More importantly, however, it has more people on Instagram Direct and Instagram. Does it say how many that use Instagram Stories? It doesn't. I assume it's under this. Yeah, I'm going to assume it comes because that massive jump makes me think it's being counted. So 335 million, which puts it ahead of Snapchat by a factor of, again, more or less 3, which is crazy because if you look at the growth, you can see that it's, the growth of Snap has ground to a halt. We have, let me pull this up a touch. Again, with the wrong thing, damn it, George. That's better. So you can see the quarter-on-quarter growth along the bottom, 24%, 8%, 15, 12, high single digits or low double digits, and then 3.2% and 5%. They've really slowed down, mostly because of Instagram, by the looks of it, which, as you can tell here, here it is. Instagram Stories reached 200 million daily active users, which puts it ahead of Snapchat. I just personally, I feel bad for Snapchat more than anything else. I am a massive fan of Snapchat, mostly because a lot of what they do is unique, and I feel bad for them because Facebook went to extremes. Hi Paul. I was busy talking about the thing. MySpace. I wonder that's a good question. How many active users does MySpace have? Let's find out. MySpace monthly active users. It's got like 2 probably. It's Paul and then my dad. Let's find out. Can't believe MySpace was ever. Why did they decide to bring MySpace back? 53 million songs are on MySpace. That's great. How many monthly active users though? Will you tell us? Because that's what we want to know. No. We should advertise on MySpace just for the hell of it. Just see what happens. You can tell it's been it's been a long time since they put anything on here. The last press release was in 2015, in January of 2015. So they clearly weren't planning on our appearance. Maybe it's on here. What? Oh, hang on. This is 2014. That's useless. You know what? It's the most recent figure we have. Let's call it 32 million. Puts it in at roughly 1/5 less than everything else. Paul has never used MySpace. That is disappointing. Paul, you should call me on Skype right now and you should come join in. Come say hi to the world, because the world misses you. That's a lie. That is such a lie. We probably do, because you're watching and that makes it at least 1. But yeah, it's what was I saying? Yeah, I feel bad for Snap because Instagram, Facebook to be specific, just, they saw stories which is Facebook's core selling point, and just completely tore it to shreds. And they didn't like turn up with a better product. They copy and pasted the Snapchat product and went, "Hey guys, look what we made." Right, which is the kind of thing I did in like my college. That's like I didn't. Hang on, wait. I just want to make this very abundantly clear. At no point did I ever copy and paste someone else's code in computer science at college. However, oh god, just hit myself in the face. However, that seems to be what Instagram did. Well, Facebook, the parent company. Oh, hang on, Paul's calling me on. Paul's actually calling me on Skype. I wasn't expecting that. Let me open up Skype, like so. Hang on, let me unmute the computer. Let me video call him. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
You are on the Snappy-Tech podcast.
Yes, I am. I would plug in my webcam, but it's on the floor somewhere. I don't know. Hello, people.
Hello. Wait. Ooh, that's an issue. If I do that, will that censor it? Yeah. Well. Okay. Cool. So it's just got your I keep saying the wrong company names today. It's really annoying. Oh man. So yeah, what does that say? Yeah, it's got your Skype icon in the middle of your name. What does GS stand for? That's a good question.
I used to have a channel called Gaming Stubbers, and that used
in
to be
that font.
I think so. I think that was my logo.
Oh my days.
I did it myself.
So tragic. I did Snappy-Tech myself. Like, come on, man.
I'm not good at this stuff. I've just picked up my webcam. Okay, let me turn that on. By the way, I want to make it abundantly clear. I know what the stories are this week.
Right.
I've not read into them. So this is
fine.
Completely...
That's not an issue.
Yes, why the hell is it not recognising the camera?
I have an issue with my microphone. Actually, I want to mention this real quick. I forgot to mention it earlier. I've been having a really weird issue with my microphone in that if I plug it in to a USB extension cable, my PC doesn't recognise it. It's really... Like, if I plug it directly into my PC, it's fine. But if I use an extender, then it just freaks out and doesn't work.
Oh, I've had that problem with so many devices in the past. It's just not even funny anymore. I'm actually really confused as to why it won't let me use my camera. Do I not have Logitech software open?
You shouldn't need it open.
I know, it is open, so why the fuck is it open?
Oh, I forgot to add a topic that happened yesterday.
I can guess what that is already.
Go on.
Tesla?
No, is that not on there?
No, I don't think so.
I forgot. No, you're right. It's not. I meant to add it and completely forgot. That isn't it. And that also didn't happen yesterday. That happened on Friday. We'll discuss that in a minute, though.
Fair enough. Why the fuck is this not working though? This is why viewers at home that we tend to start calls like quarter of an hour before the show starts.
Yeah, we do all the troubleshooting beforehand. And while you're doing that, I'm going... Actually, no, I can't wait for you. I'm going to wait for you to come back and then I'll go turn on my light. I forgot to turn my light on before I started and now it's getting dark in here.
Okay. So I've just unplugged and plugged my camera back in. Because everyone knows
troubleshooting. Yeah.
Everyone knows that turning it off and on again works. And yes, it has.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Perfect. Will now be a bad time to point out I actually prepared. I did this. I've done this every week you weren't here for the podcast. I prepared the dual person overlay just in case. Because it's a matter of like going in and just like changing the number, right? So I just go in like change the 5 to a 6, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And just like do it like really quickly, like just in case. Right, I'm gonna go turn the light on. Give me 2 seconds. You can pick a topic and start talking about it to the best of your knowledge, and I'll be back in like literally 10 seconds.
Okay, I need to get off the spreadsheet. Anyway, there we go. That's the one this week. Yeah, I am really unprepared for this, but who doesn't like a challenge?
I heard the word
Okay.
challenge, and that was literally it.
I said I'm really unprepared for this, but who doesn't like a challenge?
Oh yeah, this is great. This is completely unplanned.
Is
But,
my webcam okay, by the way? Because
yeah,
it
like
seemed to be.
you're being clipped off the top of your head, but other than that, it seems okay.
My camera looks a bit laggy every now and then. So,
Yeah, it is a bit laggy, but you'll be fine. That's the power of Skype.
what have you talked about?
The clarity of Skype. They're actually in order so far, so I've only covered the top two topics.
Okay.
But yeah, I just feel bad for Snap. So the thing I wanted to cover, because I want your opinion on this actually. I'm interested in what you'll say. Was Linus Tech? If I say was LTX, will that? Do you now know what I'm talking about?
The video that was posted of LTX earlier on, is it?
Yeah, that one.
I did watch it. I actually watched it about 10 minutes before this podcast went live, I think.
By complete coincidence.
Yes. Wow. Looks awesome. The card
Absolutely.
does. And I was really expecting him to drop the Alienware computer.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
When he put it above his head, it was like, okay, Linus, we know what you like. You've done this a million times before. Why are you risking this?
Yep. But the interesting thing was, and the reason everyone's annoyed, is that there's your image is stuck.
Yeah, I know. That's really weird. Okay then.
Oh, that is priceless.
Right,
Oh man.
let's do this.
But yeah, the reason people are annoyed is because that was an exclusive. AMD Vega hasn't been shown off yet. Or has it? When's the event? I can't remember.
It's actually tonight.
Yeah, it's later today, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and there are people who have flown across the world to this event. And, Linus Tech Tips have been given first dibs.
But they are Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah, there's that. So. And then, part of me, it may be worth restarting the call because your webcam hasn't come back.
Yeah, I know. My Skype just, for some reason, really doesn't want to use my webcam.
Let's restart the call. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't start video.
Okay, apparently the connection's a bit shit anyway.
Yeah, the connection's on red, which doesn't bode much confidence.
Well... Wait,
No, we've got an ad. That's useful.
Okay, great.
Got rid of the ad. All as well.
Okay, can't start videos.
You know what? Let's leave it as it is. It's fine.
Okay. Will we? Okay. Yeah. But no. Well, as I say, Linus is Linus. He's going to get first tips of things if.
Yeah, AMD have always loved Linus Tech Tips. If we're completely frank, right? Looking at
Well, so have Intel in the video. So.
yeah, but I think this is different in what we've seen, right? AMD have always gotten LTT have always gotten first dibs on things, right? Even when Vega was first announced, right? They were the first to cover it. They had behind the scenes access at Computex, and all of that. And it's interesting seeing mainstream media, as Trump puts it, moaning about how they've just completely foregone mainstream media and instead have gone, hey, look, this Linus guy. This Linus fella.
I think part of it for AMD is Linus's fan base is that big, and if he says something good about something, they will listen. People like if you look at, say, BBC or like non-tech organisations like that, if they say something, one, they can't be biased because that they're not allowed to be biased. BBC, people like Sky, stuff like that, they're probably not going to be that biased. And and they're not going to really push people to want to do it as much. It's just going to be a bit more informative, where people watch Linus's videos and will buy the tech from them. The other ones are more like interested stuff. Linus's viewers will buy it, especially if he says they're good. And if they are good, he will say it. But I still remember actually a video before, they said that some companies send him stuff, even if it's bad, because even when he's absolutely slated a product, companies have still seen rises in their sales figures.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. The idea of no press is bad press, right? Or the idea of as long as you're being talked about, then at least you're being talked about and you're not forgotten. But it's crazy in the sense of it's man, like I wasn't expecting it. I reckon what actually happened is that Linus got a bit lucky, right? I reckon that LTT sent around an email saying, "Hey everyone, we have this event on when was it? The 29th and 30th, right?" So they went, "Hey guys, listen, we have this event on the 29th of July. Do you guys have anything we can like show people? Anything we can show off at this event?" And I reckon AMD kind of turned around and went, "You know what? Let's give it to him a day early. Why not?"
Yeah.
And then and it was the same thing with Alienware, right? I reckon they sort of followed that lead where, because the Threadripper edition of the Area 51 PC hasn't got a release date yet, I don't think. Let me check. Yes. There are some previews, but there aren't any reviews, so they're not actually out yet. And I reckon they had a very similar situation, right? Where they just went, you know what? If AMD are doing it, why don't we? Right? It's none of this is hardware that they don't already have access to. Might as well chuck our name in it.
I think it was very good marketing from Alienware, because now in people's heads, it's going to be, there's this PC with Threadripper and Vega in it that Alienware are selling.
Yeah.
When they're both released, then that is probably going to be their first stop or first thought of who's actually doing it already. So for them, as long as AMD have said that, had already said, go for it, Linus.
Yeah.
Alienware they must be paying Linus for that one. Because if they haven't, that is such an amazing piece of advertisement for them, really.
I reckon they're not, and here's why. Because I reckon LTT have gone, if you've got something cool, tell us, and if we like it, you can bring it. And I reckon because this is a great advertising. We're talking about it right now, right? It also works out as a great advertising opportunity, right? For people going, hey, wait a second, we can get free coverage on a product that we're going to show off ourselves in a couple of weeks anyway. Why don't we just get the free coverage now, right? And I think that's what they've gone for. I mean, Razer went all out on this, right? They turned up with a toaster, right? They turned up with the literal Razer toaster.
Yeah, that was quite funny, actually. Right, Razer always do this. They always come up with something.
They're great. Razer are great. So they have are you aware of this? They did a mouse mat designing competition.
Yeah, vaguely.
So let me grab mouse mat. Let me pull up.
And something I want to make clear, by the way,
if
there's anyone watching that has access to an expedition hall, and this is the type of things you get for having your own expo, then
I think it is. I'll be honest.
Snappy-Tech Expo should be a thing.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of thing that you host an expo with enough people, and this just kind of happens, right?
Yeah, and especially if that expo gets me a free phone, because I mean, like, RIP my phone. I finally got a crack. To me, it's a massive crack.
You cracked your phone.
It's a 1 centimeter crack on the glass on the back of the phone.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you mentioned this.
The camera's fucked, but it still takes amazing pictures, and it's actually the camera app that's fucked, not the actual camera. It's like it's such a tiny little scratch, and I didn't notice it at first. And it's like,
I have
oh,
this really annoying gouge. Right, so I've sent you the link. I'm going to show this to the podcast viewers. This is from the Linus Tech Tips website. I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. So if you're not aware, they made a competition for who would design best mouse mat. I really like the Luke Tech Tips one. I think that one looks cool.
yeah.
The toast, that's a good throwback, you know?
Mm, that's quite good actually. The other two are a bit funky.
Yeah, I mean I like the idea. I appreciate the thinking behind A, but you know, it's a mouse mat I'm potentially using, so no thank you. And something about the Wan Show logo on C looks a bit off.
I think the problem with C it's just too neon and ugh.
It's not even that. Like I like the look of the LTX bit in the corner. It's just like that massive Wan Show logo just looks a bit off. Like if that wasn't, I think I'd like it more if that just wasn't there. To be honest.
Or if it was just in the original colours.
Yeah, or that. Even that would work. Yeah. Or even if like each different square was a different neon color, because it looks like all they've done is take the original logo and like change the hue to green.
Yeah, that's spot on.
But yeah, I reckon it's between what is it, B and D, both of which look kind of cool.
Yeah, and if Linus is watching, which he obviously isn't because he's currently at his own expo,
Oh, hang on.
but he should totally send us one to review because it's obviously a reviewable product.
Yeah, well, it's mouse mat, so
yeah, need like a desk tour thing where we just talk about this like for 5 minutes of the tour.
Yep. Like so, this mouse mat, as designed by the one and only. I can't even think of a fake Reddit name. Damn.
John Doe.
No, I wanted it to be like a pun on an actual person. Actually, no, John Doe works. It's a pun on Jon Snow. Called it. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know how to. I'm kind of siding with LTT on this, right? I think that's wait what you're getting at as well.
What with the AMD thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool for one of my favorite tech YouTubers, or my favorite tech YouTubers, to not only see just how much bigger they are than a lot of the other ones out there, but to be able to get opportunities like this. And it's cool. It's a cool video to watch. It would have been really cool if we was there and got to see it in person. I mean, that's an amazing.
Have you seen some of the? I've just put the article in the show notes because that's the speed we work at here at Snappy-Tech. Have you seen that? There's a quote. I'm gonna pull this up on the main screen. There's a lot of, a lot of toing and froing. That's better. My personal favorite line from this is the crowd seem. I want to find out the age of the guy who wrote this article because I reckon it's like 30s or 40s or something. This guy's probably old and cranky. He sounds like Kid Guru. Let's find out. You can't find any news on this guy. Any information about this guy.
I can read back in his previous articles, and most of them are win so and so game.
Yeah, they're mostly like giveaway articles.
Yeah, it's like.
Wait, what was
before this one? It was winner 4500 watt.
Yeah, so I'm showing it on the podcast now, so they can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is obviously someone that's very.
This. So I'm going to take this with a pinch of salt, right? But the sentence is just priceless. It reads like, the crowd seemed very young, and the level of excitement in the video is so insanely high. We felt as if we were backstage at a Justin Bieber concert. We didn't notice any panties being thrown on stage, which was a relief. Like, really? Like, seriously,
just-
dude?
That is just like complete stupidity. It's like Linus does have some young viewers and he is a family-friendly channel. But no, most of his viewers are probably our age or even slightly older. And like, what guy?
In that video, they did look slightly younger. To be fair, I reckon that video probably represented like the younger demographic more than it did the older.
Mainly because the older demographic have got other things to do with their weekend because they've got a job during the week.
Yeah, partially that, right? And then
But
if it was us, for example, right, we can't just turn up at Canada, right?
yeah,
Without hypothetically we'd have to take like days off around it, right? So we'd have to take off like the Thursday and Friday, so we could fly out, and then the Monday for flying back in potentially, as well as to deal with the whole jet lag, right?
Yeah. But that's... I think the events tend to gather the younger crowd anyway.
Yeah.
Especially like expo type events. Okay, there are expos that will attract older crowds. I mean, like a gardening expo isn't going to attract like many youngsters.
Let's go. Me and you. Let's do it.
Okay, that needs to be like Snappy-Talk video. We'll just turn up to a random gardening expo.
Can you imagine that video?
That would be great. Anyone that hosts an expedition, like an expo of some sort, just
get in touch.
Send us invites.
Just let us know.
Yeah.
Go, send an email to hello@snappy-tech.co.uk and let us know.
That would be great. Just random people, free tickets. In some cases, you may need to pay for like hotel or something if it's that far away.
Yeah, depending on where it is.
That would be great. Just turn up to like a expo in Manchester that celebrates.
I'm glad you mentioned Expo in Manchester because there is an Expo in Manchester. Oh, there's actually on the subject of expos, and we're going completely off topic here with like 10 minutes to go. There is an expo that I really quickly want to mention, and then there's some other topics we need to like blast through because a lot of these like need covering to some extent. Damn it, Paul, you completely distracted me. There is an event going on at the Excel Centre. Let me just grab it. That I think you and I should attend. If I'm not mistaken, it is on the 22nd of September. I'm just on the Excel website now. Give me 2 seconds to grab it. I reckon we should go. I'm not even sure if I'm actually in the UK for this event, but we're about to find out because I can't remember dates off the top of my head. Because believe it or not, I didn't actually add it to my calendar, even though I thought it was really funny. So, there are 2 separate events I think we should go to. There is on the 26th and 27th of September. Oh no, this is all on the 26th and 27th. Right? There are multiple shows at the Excel Centre. There is the Takeaway and Restaurant Innovation Expo.
Free food could be.
Okay, yeah. There is also Hotel Tech Live.
Okay.
There is also Restaurant Tech Live.
Okay.
There is also... You can see where this is going. There is also Street Food Live.
Okay.
But most importantly, there is Bar Tech Live.
Ooh.
How?
It sounds like lots of food and lots of alcohol.
It does, doesn't it? Let me pull this up. Like this is. I assume this is all being run by one person, right? By one not one person, like one company. I'd be really impressed if there was one guy running all of this. Like, congrats to that person. But
must be a very hungry guy.
You can get the tickets are free. The visitor passes are free.
We really need to get press passes because press usually get more stuff anyway.
I think we do.
Even more food. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Can we apply from here? I have to drop these guys an email. Surely, like I can't not, right?
Hmm.
I have to drop these guys an email and be like, guys, we want to cover your tech. He
It
said
it
in a
definitely
very thinly veiled.
it definitely sounds like something that would have a very good happy hour as well.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Because everyone would be trying to outdo each other.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I want to cover a few of these topics really quickly because they need covering, and there's the last topic needs to be done like quite quickly. Um, it can't happen too much later than 9 p.m. So for one thing, I will cover Apple killed iPods, mostly because no one was using them.
Yeah, I know one person that actually bought their last generation of iPods, and
So they've kept the
yeah,
iPod Touch alive, which is cool. But what I find funny is that what that means is that they've gotten rid of all of the iPods that don't support. Well, excuse me. They've gotten rid of all devices that don't support Apple Music.
yeah, basically,
So the only devices they sell all support Apple Music.
which is suspicious.
Suspicious and a little bit funny, right? Like
Yeah.
it's amusing, right?
Hmm.
They've gone, so guys, how do we sell our product? I know, Apple Music. Like,
The way I look at it is more like, okay, how can we get more people to use Apple Music? Give them no other choice.
that too.
Kind of what Google did with YouTube and Google Plus.
Yeah, Google Plus. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, it was it served its own purpose, right? It served a it served a higher purpose, as I'm going to
Yeah,
refer to it, of getting rid of spammers on YouTube, which worked. To be fair to them.
but also annoying the crap out of
Yeah,
YouTubers.
yeah, no, absolutely, but it worked.
Yeah.
So I'll give them points on that for that one. But yeah,
Mhm.
is it a shame? Kind of, I guess. Like, how many people were buying them? That's the real question. Because I think it was probably like zero. It was expected,
Yeah.
and I messed around
Most
with
people that oh, go on.
I messed around with a thumbnail because it kind of looks like if you took the old iPods before
Yeah.
the latest Nano and Shuffle were introduced. It looked like what both of them look like together. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it had
No,
the
I do get
screen
that.
and the little clicky wheel. Like if you look at the thumbnail for this week's podcast, you'll see what I mean. Let me
Let
drop all that.
me.
It was just the funniest thing where it looks like a different iPod, but it's two separate iPods just kind of photoshopped literally on top of each other.
I do see that.
Right? Like if they got
Yeah.
rid of the home button and got rid of bezel and slightly proportioned it better, it just looks like another iPod.
Mm.
But yeah, it's the death of physical buttons. That's all. It's all over now.
Yes, it's rip.
So let's cover one. I don't know how long we have until the last topic kicks in, but I'm going to mention it really, really quickly because I reckon it's going to be any second now. If you're a Formula E fan, which I am, I love Formula E as much as I love Formula One because both are top notch. You may be aware that this is the last race this week. Today, actually, as of like a minute from now when it starts. However, Porsche and Mercedes both announced last week that they will be joining Formula E, which is massive news for both motorsport and the two companies involved. The reason I wanted to cover it is A, because it gives me an excuse to watch the first lap of a race on the show with you guys, and B, because this links back into Tesla, right, to some extent. In
Yeah.
the idea of electric vehicles slowly taking over the world, which Tesla have now done officially with the Model 3, right? They now own the planet, right?
Yep. That's obvious.
The entirety of planet Earth just belongs to Elon Musk now. So congrats to
Hmm.
him.
I mean, he's quite rich. He could probably buy a decent portion of it.
Oh, he could buy his own country.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? So that if Facebook was to turn into a country, it'd be the most populous nation, right?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. That's one of those crazy things which, like, someone mentions it, and you're like, oh my god, you're right. Facebook has more users than any country has people. Like, That's crazy. Especially when you consider
Yes,
like how massive
crazy,
China is.
like unimaginable sort of amount, really.
Yes. Point being, right? So for a final race starts any second now. I have the stream on in my center screen. I will make it the center screen of a podcast any second now. Um, Lucas de Grassi, wonderful guy, was runner up last year by 1 point. Came third in the first year of Formula E. Um, I got to meet him. Really nice guy, wonderful guy. Gave him a high five. Lost at some table football against him. Drank a lot of beer that night. It was a press event. It was a party. Everything was provided by Vorsteiner, the Pilsner beer company. Really nice guys. They were all really nice. The food was good. The beer was even better. I still keep in touch with them. Actually, I tweet them every now and again, and they tweet me back because I'm famous.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really nice. And I really want Lucas de Grassi to succeed. They're just going through the grid now. But so yeah, I wanted to bring this up as a way to like segue into it because BMW, Mercedes, and Porsche are all joining Formula E, which is ridiculous. Like the big boys have turned up, basically, right?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see Tesla in it, though.
Yeah, I know. So I was discussing this with my dad, and he reckons the reason Tesla aren't in this isn't their own choice. I reckon, like he reckons Elon Musk just wasn't invited. Like he
Probably.
wasn't. He was like, he wasn't given the opportunity, kind of deal of like turning up. He was told like, yeah, no, we don't want you here, kind of deal, which doesn't surprise me. Because if you think about it, these companies are all very traditionalists. I'm going to switch over to the race really quickly, though. Paul, I'd highly appreciate it if you were silent because I can't hear you right now.
And we go green in Montreal, and it's a good start from
Those are cars. They're driving down a road. God, I haven't switched the camera. Hang on. That's better. Now you guys can see it. Oh, there's been contact. People are hitting each other everywhere. Literally, cars driving. What has happened? Who knows?
In the end there as well, and Lucas de Grassi is ahead of Tom Dillman. Daniel Apter's got a poor start. Sebastian looks unscathed on this first lap.
I was concerned when I saw the app.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna remute it. So it's now running in the background. That was an interesting start. What's great about Formula E is it's so close, right? Everyone is running wheel to wheel, all the time, every time.
Which can't say the same about Formula One.
No, so the Formula One race happened today, and I felt kind of bad for Hamilton. In the sense that I felt worse for Kimi than I did for Hamilton. I also felt bad for Hamilton, but I felt really bad for Kimi.
I only saw a very small part, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Basically, Sebastian Vettel had car issues. He was told to drive slowly because of his car issues. And Kimi Räikkönen was told, you're not allowed to overtake him. You're on defensive duty. So Kimi Räikkönen, who was much faster, didn't go on to win the race because Ferrari wanted Vettel to win it instead.
Yeah,
and that's
just
sports with Snappy-Tech. Bet you didn't think that would happen. I reckon. Wait, hang on.
Oh, go on.
No, I was gonna say I reckon we should call it a show, but I clicked the wrong thing. Carry on.
Because I was actually looking at it and was thinking, I know Hamilton at one point was behind Bottas and really quickly catching him. I don't know what they did in the end, but I was actually thinking to myself, if Mercedes wanted to do team orders here, they could say, okay, Bottas, Hamilton's more likely to win the championship, let him go past.
So that is what they did.
When they do that. It's so boring when they do that.
So what they did is Hamilton was so much faster that they let him through. Hamilton actually had radio issues all race, and when his radio finally came back, it was the funniest thing. That's beyond the point, though. So Hamilton was allowed through on the condition that if there are, if unless you manage to overtake Kimi Räikkönen, you have to give the place back, which he did on the last corner. And if you're watching it, you'll have seen like just how nip and tuck it was, because Max Verstappen was right behind Bottas, right? So they had to do this thing where Lewis Hamilton let him pass on literally the last corner of this race, and they were basically side by side across the line because he wanted to let his teammate pass, but not the guy behind him.
Yeah. That is great, like racing, because you just know, like you're watching it, just thinking, okay, something's gonna screw up any moment
exactly.
Now. And like, but I hate team orders.
Yeah,
and it's just. Sometimes it's good. I mean, like, I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan, so I want to see him win these races or get a better chance. And sometimes when your teammate is going super, super slow, it is just better for the team to say, you know what, rather than you both like each other's races up, just let him through.
Yeah.
Like Vettel did, like they did for Vettel.
Yeah.
Because as you say, Raikkonen might have been able to get a really big lead on there, and if he was really that much faster, then yeah. But
it was
really
clear. It was clear that Vettel was running really slowly because everyone was confused. Because Kimi was like, "Why is Vettel going so slowly?" And then Hamilton was like, "Why are the Ferraris going so slowly?" Like everyone was really confused.
Sports.
Sports ball. I love sports ball.
Yeah, snappy sports.
Hell yeah. Right, should we cover? I think that's it. I think we're going to call it a show there because honestly, let me see what it says the runtime is. So YouTube is claiming the runtime is currently at 52 minutes. So we're going to have to talk for another 8 minutes, Paul. No pressure.
Okay.
I don't believe it's current runtime though, because I could have sworn I kicked off at like 3 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, the stream has been on for an hour and 5 minutes according to my YouTube stream.
Yeah, so this live thing is lying to me, right? It says I've been live for 52 minutes, and I don't believe it.
It says the stream's been an hour and 6 minutes long now.
Yeah, so I reckon we'd call it a show. Paul, thank you for turning up completely unexpectedly halfway into this episode.
Yeah, no problem.
Greatly appreciated. Good chatting to you, as always.
Of course it was.
Paul is in the process of setting up an About Me because I told him to, which technically makes it about him as opposed to an about me. However, for right now, the link in the description will be to Paul's Twitter, which is Paul Stubbers, at Paul Stubbers on Twitter. So make sure you go follow him because I'm sure he'd appreciate it. He'd just resent you forever. That's the truth. But yeah, go do that.
I don't even know what I post on Twitter.
I don't think anyone does. Do you post on Twitter? That's a real question.
Yeah. Every now and then I might retweet something or say something myself. So if you want to find out what these random things I retweet or say on Twitter are, then you're going to have to follow me because they're usually quite interesting. Or they're quite boring, like just saying I'm in this week's Snappy-Tech podcast, or
that's not boring. That's great. You should do that all the time. You should do that more. You should do that. I like this. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, but yeah, most of mine are just retweets trying to win tickets to something, or this is quite a funny post. Here, guys, have it.
Perfect. So, Paul, thank you for being on. If you like the show, click like because I'd appreciate that. If you didn't, why did you sit for a 1 hour show? Like, really? Is that how you get back at me? Is that what you think you're doing here? Like, you really don't understand how that dynamic works. However, if you want to be here next week, please do 8 p.m. British summertime every Sunday because I have nothing better to do. So come join us for the live show. All the links are in the description. snappy.tech/iTunes for the iTunes bit, /podcast for the general podcast information. However, do subscribe. There's lots of stuff in the works. Subscribe to Snappy Talk as well. snappy.tech/talk. Because it's not at all confusing. And that link doesn't actually exist yet. I'm about to make it. Paul, don't type it right now.
Don't worry, I wasn't going to.
I like heard a clicking noise or something, and I was like, is that Paul typing him a link to test it?
No, that was me standing up to open my window.
Oh, I see. Anyway, but yeah, so I will now make that link, so by the time you're watching this, it will work. Thank you guys for being here. It's always great seeing you. And that's another Snappy-Tech podcast. Bye.